Okay, guys, we are live. So for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I will be your friendly shop steward today. Because today we are carrying on with our ongoing campaign playing Paizo Publishing's outstanding fantasy RPG Pathfinder 2nd Edition. Playing an ongoing campaign in our custom setting of the Spires of Paridar, setting of occult conspiracy, Coalpunk disparity, and in some cases, murder mystery. And with me today are the stars of the Spires of Paridar campaign, the Illuminators themselves. I'll go the order I've got you guys on the screen here. Why don't you tell us who you are and who you're playing? First up, we've got Sean.
Hey, I'm playing Golag, son of Dak. Doc? I think I go every other session. I call it Dak or Doc. But anyway, I'm the son of, and I am a orc witch detective. The erstwhile face of the franchise of a investigatory firm in the city of Paridar.
Nice. Next up is James.
I'm Sally Dumaire, the ancient scale Azarketi, member of the firm.
Nice. And last but certainly not least is Darren.
Yeah, I'm playing Dr. Adam Ersprung, a level 3 inventor, and he's soon to be tested waterproof Igor.
Yes. So last time was an eventful one, guys. There was quite a bit of planning for future stuff, as a little bit of investigation, and then a confrontation. What happened last time?
Well, like you said, we did do a bit of investigation, but the big event was obviously our sleepover at the pond,
Right,
where we had a rat on a rope.
Yes, a Paridar favorite snack.
I don't. Did we have one investigatory scene before that? Before we didn't we?
Yes, there certainly was planning made for Dr. Ersprung's what do you call it? Yeah, charity event.
Fundraiser, yeah. And Golag was doing his magic on the bike, looking at the previous
good call.
Scenes of the child's bike at a park.
That was fateful because that meant that I had decided to. It made so much sense at the time, but that morning, that fateful decision of what spells to take was potentially hard to say, but I could have. Considering we were planning on spending the night in the park, hoping to run into an adversary, is what makes this comment worthwhile. That perhaps my spell choices were subpar, but anyway. Moving on.
You did learn some information from it, though.
I did.
Yep.
I did.
Yes, so that was helpful. But
yeah. It was good. It was good.
It also highlights some of the, for the detractors for the sort of Gygaxian approach of Vancian magic. It's one of the fun things with that is, you kind of make decisions beforehand and, make the best of what you got.
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So go ahead. Yeah.
We've got a little bit more information on Brother Lob. Or Lob.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
From Elizabeth Green, and he's got that strange barrow mission going on.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Sally, you met with Mrs. Hunter about a break-in at her house.
Yeah, that's true. So, her house had been burgled, and the staff seemed to. I'm trying to remember. The staff were aware of it, but they thought she was going to hide it from us. So there's some details which maybe haven't been fully shared, I think.
There was talk of
background on it.
There was talk of this guy who wanted to create an underwater sort of submarine, basically, didn't he? And go exploring your sort of more homeland or homeworld.
Yes, a landlubber who wants to do a diplomatic mission to my people.
Yeah.
I guess Sally had forgotten this as a piece of ridiculous land folk ideas. Wiped it from her mind. From
Drylanders. All right. And then you guys had your overnight experience at the Poverty Pond. Yeah, really. And what happened there? There was a rope involved. There was a Yasaki at the end of said rope. But then said Yasaki took a stroll into the pond.
Yeah, he was charmed into the pond, wasn't he? By this kelpie creature.
Or perhaps he sided with the kelpie all along.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's not here to defend himself, so we'll go with
it. Taking full advantage of that.
Most definitely.
We pulled him out. The rope was big. So we, he snapped out of it at some point, I think on his own. And we got him out of the water, helpfully, I think, from distance. That part of the plan worked, at least, I think, reasonably.
So now he's standing around looking like a drowned rat.
Oh, bum. Indeed.
It's no fun when he's not here, though.
Here we go. Okay, so...
Oh, God.
Oh, no, go right ahead.
We all got way too close to the pond. I will speak personally. In that case, looking for, in a helpful sense, trying. Oh, because Ms. Dumir was still under there doing battle, even as the our Yukoi, right? Yukoi is how you say it? Is Ingolf's character's race? Isn't it? Or is it
Yasaki.
Yasaki. I was so far off, no one even knew what I was saying. That is,
I was on a decoy. I'm like, okay, that's sort of what she was doing under there.
When you're so far off, everyone has absolutely no idea what you're talking about. That's not good. But Ms. Dumir was still doing battle, so we all, we got closer, because we couldn't find it. The water is the big wild card here, because we can't see it, we can't get to it half the time. And so we got closer, and so I don't know if I'm missing anything in between, but Golab got snatched. Is there anything that happened between we got closer and that?
I got out and you went back in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
You had your hand in there, I think, and
you were trying to find it with a light, weren't you? Which is why you got so close to the edge.
And Ms. Dumir, got out as we ran up, and then I stuck a light under the water to try to locate it.
And then it grabbed you and dragged you under, so you're currently 35 feet under on an angle, so you'd probably be like 20 feet below and whatever. I can't spitball Pythagorean theorems, so that's probably close enough for us.
Close enough.
Yeah, about 20 feet out, 20 feet down, maybe.
Close enough for horseshoes, hand grenades, and depth charges, apparently.
Exactly. And killer, water horses.
Right.
So because we've moved to a new map, I found something that looks more like this. What I'll ask you guys to do is go ahead and click on your token and then click on initiative. We can use perception for initiative, or I will let you use athletics. Your choice, because athletics, if it's better for you, go ahead and use that. Nat 1 from Dr. Ishmael. Right. Oh, hey, but I got Nat 1 for the Kelpie. So it's going around.
Okay, so initiative Initiative has assigned Ms. Dumir as my savior. She's going to take care of this. It's going to be sweet.
Yeah, 19.
It's going to be awesome.
I can just put your token in there, Sally, and put your number in if you'd like. There you go.
Okay.
And then who are we missing? 1, 2. Oh, Golag. Yeah, Golag's up there. Oh, Dr. Ursprung, you clicked on perception, not initiative. As perception. And I'm using that as the excuse for you to roll again.
Nice.
Because it'd be good if you could heal someone.
That is a good excuse.
Oh, very good.
Nice.
Not bad. All right. So then, guys, we are at the... Now, one of the things that I want to point out to Dr. Ursprung as well, because it hasn't come up a lot, but I'll just... maybe that you're cautiously making use of your things, but remember that you have that... there's the unpredictable element to some of your stuff, where if you push the your thing, it might... Oh, boy. It might break.
The overdrive.
The overdrive, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a couple other abilities that that link into that as well. Unstable. Anything with the unstable thing, when you make an unstable action, roll a flat DC 17. Immediately after applying its effects. On a fail, the innovation malfunctions in a spectacular but harmless fashion, such as belching smoke or shower sparks, and it becomes incapable of being used for further unstable actions. So it means that you're still able to use it for other things, it's just not for any action that has the unstable feature on it. And on a critical fail, you also take fire damage equal to your level. So,
I think I've only got the Searing Restoration that sort of breaks down.
As an unstable thing? Okay.
I don't think it's on... It doesn't actually say that, but I think you definitely have to...
Yeah, let me take a peek here. Searing Restoration...
I mean, that's what it's...
Oh, yeah, because I think we cut and pasted that, so it's probably... Yeah, unstable. You see under traits?
Oh, okay. Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see it straight away.
So, yeah, I only mentioned that because I don't think it's come up yet in our thing, so I thought I'd remind everyone so that I don't forget again. But Anna's also a stickler for a clear application of traits. Then what we have is all of our heroes, two of our heroes on the shore. What is Igor's movement? Is it 20 or 25?
25.
25. So he is partway into the water, I think. Right?
He just literally got into the water.
Okay, so he's just on the 5 feet out into the water, slogging his way down in. Dr. Ursprung, you were up first, so 3 actions from you. What would you like to do?
Okay. Yeah, I want to get Igor going, so I'm going to spend 2 actions on Igor.
Okay.
And I'm just going to say to him, rescue Golag or kill the monster.
Okay.
I'm just sending him in to go under.
So is he going to try and yank Golag free of this thing's jaws, or which would be an athletics check, or is he going?
Yeah, I mean he'll have to take 1 action, I guess, to get there.
Yep.
You know, to sort of swim down. He'll make 1 attempt to try and get him free, and if that doesn't work, he'll hit it.
Well, he could also do twice because the attempt to try and free someone, it counts as like an escape counts as an attack. He would take the same penalty to an attack or a second attempt to try and free him. So you could do either. Yeah. But let's start with this. So the it's gonna be a 21 athletics check or target number.
Yeah.
So let's see here. Nat 1. You want to get that hero point going right away?
Yeah, let's kick it off.
So technically, our game was supposed to start at 11:30 my time. We have been bullshitting for a half hour. Your character should not be penalized for that. So why don't everyone take another hero point?
Nice.
All right, let's give that a go.
Nice.
There we go.
So he leaps up, and Golag, you can feel like I don't know what's going through your mind right now as far as like the development that has taken, but you suddenly see
poor
this
choices. He's going over lifetime poor choices.
Yes.
He ain't got that long.
It's the start of a really shitty 90s movie. Hi, I'm Golag, son of Dag. You may be questioning why I got here or how I got here.
Right.
So you, but what happens, what pulls you out of that reverie is the hard brass arms of Igor that grab you and wrench you free of this kelpie. You hear a kind of a squealing neigh kind of growl that echoes through the water in kind of a weird, distorted way. Yeah, exactly. I'm listening to that as soon as the session ends. It's a terrific fucking song. Okay. So that was 1 action for Igor. You have yanked Golag free. What would Igor like to do next?
He's just going to try and hit it.
Okay. So it'll be attack number 2 from him.
Yeah. That is... No.
That is a miss. Okay, so it is bludgeoning as well too. So actually, I think it treats the target. What is it? He's flat-footed in it, and then you've got a penalty.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely.
Yeah, and let's just quickly refresh our memory. The underwater combat rules really aren't that complicated in this game, and I know precisely where they are. Here we go. Aquatic combat. -2 to slashing or bludgeoning attacks, unless you got the underwater marauder feat.
Okay. And the doctor with his last action. How close is Sally to me?
Sally is standing next to you.
Okay. I'm going to try and do some battle medicine on Sally then.
Okay, you got it.
I'm going to go for
15 or 20?
DC. Yeah, I'm going to go for 20.
Okay. Here we
A
go.
bit more risky, but situation's fairly dire.
You want to hero point that?
Yeah, let's use the last one up.
Okay. There you go.
Oh, nice.
So what is, I can't remember, is that...
2d8 plus 10.
Nice.
Oh, that's a big one.
Ooh,
So 19.
Outstanding.
thank you, Doctor.
All right, so that is... Oh, and 1, 2, 3, that's Igor's done. Dr. Earthsprung is done. Sally, what are you doing?
Well, with Sally, says, thank you, Doctor, and then dive straight into...
Beautiful.
Now, she's going to go in... she's pretty swift, so she'll try and go round to the other side of the Kelpie from Golag.
To, like, flank it?
Yep, and smack it.
Love it. Okay, so you get...
see if
it's
it'll let him go.
Here we go. Now, are you adjacent, or are you using your ranged punch thing?
I think I'll use my ranged punch, but getting close to this booger is quite dangerous. But fortunately, I am the underwater marauder as well, so I can slash with...
I may be teasing Golag about having underwater marauder. So I just happened to read that feat on something from yesterday. So go ahead and make your attack roll.
Come on.
That
no, hero point that.
Hero point, yeah, go right ahead.
Come on.
There you go.
There you
Solid
go.
hit. Schwack. Nice. So you hit this thing with your first attack. You still have... Oh, and did you say you were flurrying?
Yes.
Okay.
I heard
Holy smokes. Whack, whack. 2 solid hits. You still have 1 more action.
I will put my deflection up.
So some of this...
so I'll make some water spinning in front of me.
And it's this mucky, awful shit. Golag, 3 actions. What would you like to do?
I think... okay, so that's right. I had questions. Let me see. What is my expectation of trying to get out of this lake? Like, is it... like, do I have any sense if this will take me all 3 actions in game? That's
a good point. Let's refresh our memories on swimming. So swimming, the target number from it is dictated by sort of what the water is like, how difficult the water is. So in your case, it is perfectly still. So the difficulty here is, I believe, a 5. Let me check here. Where's my DM screen? Untrained, I think, is it's either a 5 or a 10. Untrained is a 10. So difficulty is, it's an athletics check against DC 10. And on a success, you move through the water at 5 feet plus 5 feet per 20 feet of your land speed. So in your case, I think your land speed's 25. Oh, perfect. There you go. You read my mind. So you'll be moving on a success, you move 10 feet. On a critical success, if you roll 20 or higher, you would move 15 feet. You are currently on an angle, 35 feet away, but you could sort of move straight up the muck bottom and get about 25 feet. So that's probably 1 or 2 successful rounds of swimming. So that'd help you gauge how much time you've got. And as far as holding your breath is concerned, you can hold your breath for 5 rounds plus your Constitution modifier. So what's your Constitution modifier?
1.
Okay, so 6 rounds, and then you reduce that by 1 at the end of each of your turns, or 2 if you attacked or cast any spells that round. So right now you're fine.
What about continuing my light cantrip?
Continue your light. That is a... I think that actually you don't need to sustain that. That one lasts until you cast it again, I believe.
All right. I'll check, but I think...
there are certain ones that need to be sustained. Like, I think shield needs to be sustained. I think... I don't know. There's a bunch of spells that have a specific sustain.
Oh, you're correct. You're correct. Good job.
Okay. So... What? Yeah, so that's going to be lit until you cast it on something else.
I mean, on the one hand, right now it's just it serves to make me a target, but we'll ignore that for the moment, I think, and keep it. I'll keep it.
It also
going.
means you can see this thing finally, and it is unlike the sort of like. I mean, the illustration is not very nice. The one you're seeing is more of a jet black in color, which makes it so like all the harder to see in this murky, muck-filled lake.
I mean, I'll keep the light pointed behind me, as much as I try to. I mean, if that's even possible. I'm swimming, so who knows what that looks like. But I'm going to try to get out of here. I mean, whatever help I can be, I'm not going to be able to do it here. So I've got to get out of the way.
So why don't you give us a athletics check, please, for your first action?
Athletics check coming. Come on. Oh, that's no good.
You want to hero point that?
Yep, hero point that. And oh my goodness.
So a fail just means you don't make any progress, but it does not mean that you're losing. On a critical fail is when you're losing air. So right now you're
Can
just...
I hero point it again? Are you allowed
No,
to
you're only allowed one reroll with the hero point. What this means is just that I think narratively, like with you kind of thrashing around with Igor having come down here with Sally coming down and zipping around this stuff, you can imagine that there's all these particulates that are up in the air. So you're just sort of, for your first action, you're just trying to figure out like, what the fuck is it? Which is the way out?
I mean, and I can see him doing the Wile E. Coyote without, going nowhere, but everything just, as he's just,
exactly.
kind of flailing.
Two more actions. What would you like to do?
Oh, same thing. Here we go. Let's see if we can get that.
There you go. So that is
good.
10 feet. So you are still underneath the surface, but you are closer to the shore. Let's do this. Why don't you give us a perception check for free? You don't need to seek for this, just to see if you can judge which is the correct.
I'm cold right now. Cold.
So that one, do you want to hero point that sucker?
Is this what I want to hero point?
What you are right now is one successful athletics check from reaching the surface, but it's not clear whether. And I'm not going to say that you're going the wrong direction. I'm going to randomly determine whether you're what direction you're going in. Then, so you could very well be going the right way.
Sure, I'll hero point it.
Okay.
There we go.
There you go. So not only do you know precisely the direction you're going, you can perfectly situate where you're coming out at this point. You still have one more action. One more action.
Yeah. I mean, I got to keep it up. I'm not sure what else. I don't think there's any rabbits. I'll recheck for rabbits out of hats, and I don't think there's anything even. No, that's not going to do it. Yeah, we're just going to do the same thing.
Okay. Here we go.
Thrashing around. Oh my goodness.
So it is not a pretty. You're not winning points for any synchronized swimming in the near future, but you are.
The previously well-dressed, orc is swimming. Witch is swimming about how you'd think.
Yes. So you're pulling yourself out, covered in mud, covered in muck, and kind of at the right in front of where Dr. Ersprung and Sally Dumer. Oh no, and Sally was standing a moment ago. Then it is this thing's turn. So for its first action, it turns to you, Sally, and I don't think it's used its lure feature on you yet, has it? It hasn't tried to ensorcel you? Okay. So would you give us a willpower or a will save, please?
That's not good.
DC 23 on this. Whew, you want to hero point that? It's not a critical fail.
23. I guess I will, but I'm not... I guess. Yeah. That was a waste.
Geez.
My will's so low that it's...
yeah. Okay. As a monk, is your wisdom really bad?
8.
There we go.
-1.
Mystery solved. Yep. That will do it. Okay, so then what happens is for a brief moment, this thing turns towards you, and its eyes, it sort of blinks, and then its eyes form that of like some kind of I'm trying to think of what like a deep sea relaxing creature, maybe like a nurse shark, something that this doesn't really like attack or whatnot. It just has this very soothing quality to it, and you can picture, while you can swim fairly fast, there are creatures underwater that move faster, and your people at times make use of them like mounts in the way that these drylanders would make use of horses or, whatever. And this thing seems to... it seems to beckon to you as if it would be one of those types of things. You want to... It promises to take you places. And... you are not adjacent to it, so right now you are just staying still. And you will not be acting until let's see here. Yeah, we'll give you another save at the start of next round. But then this thing turns... I think it actually approaches you. It goes up to as if to try and let you mount it. So once it lets you onto its back, and you can see there are all those writhing tendrils, almost like strands of seaweed drifting in the in the murky water. Dr. Ursprung, what are you doing? I just remembered Sally can light herself up as well.
Yeah,
because of her motes of.
I shall help Golag as he comes out of the water. That'll be the first point of action. I'm not going to risk it. I'm just going to do a basic 15 DC assurance version of bowel medicine. Okay. So I don't have to roll.
Oh, great. So it's 1D...
it's 2D8.
2D8. 2D8.
Yeah, 2D8.
So come on. 11 hit points back.
I know I'd get something horrible and I wouldn't be able to...
To Golag? Or who's that to?
Yeah, to Golag, yeah.
Excellent.
Okay, yeah, 2 more actions.
I'm going to get Igor thrashing about in the water. Would Igor be clever enough to realise that his slashing weapon would probably work better than bludgeoning under the water?
The slashing would not, actually. Anything that's that you're moving like that, a piercing weapon, if he has access to that, that would work.
I just thought it might go through the water sort of smoother because of the blade, but no. Okay, always stick with what he's got.
Okay. So he'd have to spend 1 action to move over, because this thing is moved next to where Sally is now.
Yep. Yep, so he'll move over, and he'll make an attack.
Oof, that's a hit.
Oh, good.
Nice.
There you go. Okay. He has 2... Oh, no, that's a miss. Because of the... so it would be a miss because of the -2 for attacking underwater with a bludgeoning, but Sally is flanking.
So it does count as a hit. Get up behind him, yeah. Okay, yeah. Cool. And
the most thrilling parts of an RPG is the DM explaining the math behind happening what just happened. Really.
And then, he's just going to take another swing because he wouldn't know what else to do. He probably don't even think Sally's in danger too much at the moment because she seems quite happy with him.
Yeah. So Sally, would you like to spend an action trying to resist this?
Yeah.
Okay, so give us a will
I'm not sure too
save
much
here.
Luck, but let's give
Come
it a go.
on. That is a critical fail. So, would you like to ride this thing? Seems really cool.
Yeah. Got no choice.
Okay, so you ride on back of this, and as you sort of do, almost like a harness, the writhing tendrils sort of wrap around your hand and then your legs, pulling you tight on the back of this thing. You have 1 more action. You want to try and resist again?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
nice.
Yeah.
You have let yourself free, and you realize where you are now. You are on the back of this thing, and you're being held in place. You've seen anglerfish deep in the trenches, and you realize you've been dragged into some kind of trap. Golag, what are you doing?
I am going to... I'm down to 2 choices. Can we see it very well? What's our situation with being able to
now, once again, you have light above the surface of the water, and it would be reflecting off it, making seeing beneath the surface very difficult. You know from being underneath there, you were able to see it once you were under the water.
Okay, I will go into the water. I mean, I will, go get myself in a situation, as close to shore as I can be and pull that off, but I will go into the water.
Okay, so you have to go about 10 feet out and then plunge your hand underneath or whatever it is that is causing the light. And that will be enough to illuminate. And what you can see is that there's the form of Sally, distorted by the water, is now sitting on the back of this thing for some reason.
And is she does it look like she's being constrained? I mean, physically restrained?
With her success, she's now straining against it. She's not making a roll to try and free herself yet, but you can tell from the thrashing underneath this, it does not seem like she wants to be on the back. And all those tendrils, all those black tendrils are all wrapped around her arm and her legs, and she seems to try and free her one extra hand, and it's, kind of caught and pulled down. She does not seem to be a voluntary rider. You have 2 more actions. What would you like to do?
I will. Is it possible to try a somatic spell at it under the water here? Can I shout something at it? Is that feasible?
Let's see here. So a somatic component is just a question of whether you can actually get the spell off or not. Whether it hears it, that may be difficult under the water. But let's see here. Also, with spells at least, it is it's not so much that they need to hear you per se, because it's magic that's delivering the command. You shout a command that's hard to ignore. I'm reading, Anna, hold on. You can command. Okay, so let's see here. What it says is you can't use fire spells or use actions with a fire trait underwater. Otherwise, yeah, you can speak. You can use something with a verbal component under there. Somatic is just a matter of having free hands to gesture. That's not affected. That's not affected by being underwater. Yeah. Really, the only thing the somatic thing does, you need to have at least a free hand for it, and it also speaks to using a spell with somatic component potentially triggers reactions. So if something has an attack of opportunity, which are kind of rare in this game, could get, they could get a chance to hit you.
So I'm going to try command and whatever that, drop, either leave Sally alone or, drop Sally.
Okay. Drop her is what you say.
Drop her.
Okay. So then,
drop
yes,
because
you can see the target, it will magically hear what you're commanding, and then I make a save here. So its save is pretty good, but let's see here. Oh, it's Jack Dice. Oh, I rolled a 16, so it completely ignores that.
Okay.
So critical success, completely unaffected by it. But this thing it's probably part of the fact that this thing is so. It's so innately magical. Yep. Then, I think that's it for you. So then it's this Kelpie's turn. Sally, what is your fortitude save bonus?
I'm not sure how I...
It's right in the middle. It'll be the plus, middle of the first page.
Well, it says E9.
9 is the one I'm looking for. Okay. E means that you've got expert training in it or expert proficiency.
Okay.
Yeah, and then 9 is your bonus. So that tells me the target number for his athletics check is a 19 to try and drag you further underneath the water. So his athletics is plus 11. I need an 8 or higher to succeed here. And 19. So this thing takes off underwater and begins dragging you down another 35 feet, Sally. Now, so you guys can see Sally is just being dragged very, very far underneath. It's going to try once again. This is a second attack, so it'll be -5. I failed the second time, so you're straining against him. He's not bringing you down any further. And the final one, fail as well. So you are being dragged underneath. You're another 35 feet down into the depths of this thing. And while obviously your focus right now is on being dragged further underneath the water by this thing, you're about 35 feet away from where Igor is, and you are about 20, so 45 feet away from where Golag is, which means I think she's on the outskirts of your light spell, because light goes to 40 feet at most, right? Yeah, unless it's heightened to 4th level. Okay. However, Sally, would you give us a perception check, please?
Check. Excuse me.
This is a very low. It's only DC 10. Critical success. Sally, as you're being dragged down, there is something. So right now you're about maybe about 40 feet underneath the water. So this pond is, as you expected, much deeper than you thought. What is looming out a little further ahead and just to the right of the direction that this Kelpie is dragging you? There is another towering spire.
Oh.
Similar to the others that are in elsewhere in the park. But this one, with your critical, you can see right near the top, there's a broken bit off. So this one seems to be damaged in a much less obvious way, but no doubt as critically as the spire that now serves as the pedestal for Elwood Eckhart's statue. And this seems to be the direction that this thing is dragging you. Dr. Ersprung, what are you doing?
Did you say Igor can't see Sally anymore?
Igor, no, unfortunately I don't think Igor's got dark vision, right?
There's no record of it on here.
No, okay. So if he does not, then no, unfortunately, she goes past the bright light cast by Golag's spell, and then past the dim light, and then disappears into the blackness of the waters.
Okay. And Sally hasn't got any lights on herself at the moment?
Not yet, no.
No. Okay. Lee's going to just stand where he is then. And he'll be waiting for signs.
While you're contemplating, everyone gets a hero point.
Much needed. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I can't do any more healing on Golag yet. Yeah, he's just going to be wading in the edge of the water.
Okay.
He's just waiting for any sign of Sally that he can react to.
Okay. Do you wish to give any actions to go to Igor?
Yeah, I'll give him some actions, but all he's going to do is just move in the direction that he saw Sally going in, as best as possible. I don't know how restricted he's going to be because of the
he's going to be able to move off, but he's effectively moving out into darkness and further, down into the depths of this pond. So he's trudging off, and if she lights up, if he heads in the direction that she was dragged off, then I guess he's probably 2 or 3 movements into the pond. Because she'd be moving at half speed just because of the movement to the water. Yep. Ms. Dumer, you are trapped, but you are free to act now. So, what would you like to do?
Can I use acrobatics to try and
yes, you can
rip myself out from there?
DC 21.
And I'm not sure. Can I put move all my lights to my head is that sort of a free action?
Yeah, that's just you don't need free hands to do that. You just that happens. I don't know if it's a free action, but I think it's a action.
Okay, well, I'm going to hero point that. And
okay.
Come on.
Oh. Okay, so that's first, but that's only your first attempt. You could try again. It'll just be at minus 5. So become 26 is the target number then. Fuck. Okay, so 2 actions to try and free yourself, but you are lit now. Let me double check. Oh boy. I think you are in. I think it's in the Absalom book, which I've got handy here. if you do have the extra... Oh, here we go. Benthic Azarketi. Okay. Where is that? Oh, you know it might be from the... No, that's Gods and Magic. You know what, we'll say it's... Oh, there it is. Somewhere. Oh, Will can take a drink, because I had to grab a new book. There we go, 12. That's hydraulic deflection, sheepers. You know what? We'll say it's a it's a free action for now, and I'll figure out where I found that afterwards. So you have one more action. You could try again at -10. Try and free yourself, or do something else that doesn't require your free hands.
I'm at a bit of a loss for anything else, so I'll give it a go. But
Okay.
no.
Okay. All right. Then it is Golag. What are you doing?
So now with Sally having lit up her back, I can see it, right?
You can see her. Yeah, she's 40 feet away from you, and she's also illuminating this thing that she's riding along.
I am going to cast. I only got one use of it. Magic missile, all 3 actions.
Oh, nice!
Firing 3 missiles down into the depths.
Fantastic. Go ahead and roll your spell. Oh, okay. So 5 force. You know what I'll do, because I think we've had this come up, and I've said I'm going to make the change, and then I don't do it. Let me make the change to your spell, so it'll automatically roll damage for all 3 things for you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, here we go. Magic missile. Hit edit on it.
I mean, of course, it can be used for 1 to 3 actions, so it's possible I wouldn't use it for 3.
Yeah, and then what we do is just we count whichever ones you use.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah. So if you... Okay, let's see, did that work? Oh, just don't touch anything on your character sheet. Sorry, you...
No.
That's okay. He undid what I was doing. So just hold up a second here. Actually, it's 3 missiles. Oops, wrong thing. Okay, let's see here. Come on. There we go. Let's close this down. And just going to see if that worked. Come on, you fucking thing. Get out of my way. There we go. All right. And yes, perfect. So that will work next time. Then that was 5, and they give us a 1d4 plus 1 roll twice.
All right.
That's 5 damage. The first one.
1d1.
Or you just click on the spell again, and we'll take the ones that are rolled in text for it. Here we go. 3 and 3. Okay, so that is 6 plus, that's 11 points of damage. Sally, you feel this thing struck by the shadowy bolts, and it just bucks and kicks. It is very injured. then it is so you've spent your whole turn prepping all this stuff, and you unleash all 3 bolts down into the water. This thing actually, with Sally's... Oh, it'll have to drag Sally and attack. I think it releases you, Sally.
Oh, this I like.
Well, then it turns...
Possibly.
And it just, faster than you would have thought possible, Golag, this thing disappears out of Sally's light and then very quickly appears in yours. It's moving at 35 feet per round, so it's 2 actions for it to come up to you, and then it bursts out of the water. And what's your AC?
Poor. Let's see. It is 16.
I said 4. I'm like, oh my god.
No.
16. Okay, so 16. Oh boy. I rolled terrible though, so I did get a hit, but it's not a crit, which is what I was worried about.
Yeah.
Okay, so this thing leaps out of the water and like almost, imagine a long, thin, like like the ichthyosaur dinosaurs that have those really long, weird, like almost bird-like mouths, but all full of razor-sharp teeth. That's what this transforms into. As it slams down on you, and you take 16 points of damage as it slams around you, and it has grabbed hold of you once again.
Okay.
And that's it. It's just a free grab for you. It doesn't get to drag you just yet. Dr. Earthsprung, this thing is right next to you right now.
Yeah, so this thing's come flying out. He's thinking about it. He's going to use his engineer brain, which I haven't got, and he's going to query, could he use the electro cable to try and electrocute this thing as it's like...
Click on the electro cable. What does it do again?
I mean, it's not really a weapon, but...
yeah, it does 1d6 electricity, 1d6 fire.
I didn't know if it would be... Would he think it would do more damage because this thing's obviously got loads of water all over it? Would it...
Quite possibly.
Eventually?
Yeah, quite possibly. It's also a creature of water, so I mean, like that fire damage, it can't be good for it.
Yeah, so he's basically going to...
Sure, so like one action to yank it out from the thing, and then just I think just give us an athletics check. That'll be your attack roll for it.
This is his worst stat. But...
you want to spend a hero point to reroll that?
Yep.
Okay, come on, big money.
God, Jesus.
So but that's only your first attack. Try and get it. You could try again at -5.
He's already got -2 athletics, so...
That's why they put 20s on these dice, though.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't got a lot else he can think of, and he's pretty sure it would work if he could connect to it, so he's going to give it a go.
Okay, here we go. Oh, that's closer. So you swing and you nearly get this thing, but it's sparking and going out. This thing like wrenches to the side to get away from it. It doesn't actually move like physically, but it is doing everything it can to stay clear of that sparking and arcing electro cable. Ms. Dumer, so you suddenly find yourself underwater. You spare a quick glance over at that towering broken spire underneath the water, but then look back and you can see this thing is standing atop Golag once again. What are you doing?
Okay, well, I can move 40, so this thing's not so fast.
Yep.
So I will head off at top speed.
Nice.
To get out of the water as well.
Awesome. And is your speed 40 underwater?
40 underwater.
Fucking awesome. So one action to get up to be adjacent. Do you want to be adjacent or do you want to be 10 feet away?
I'll go 10 feet away and hunker down and slash twice.
Okay, so here we go. So you're racing up. So then if you're flurrying, that is 2 attacks, and you'll still have 1 more action afterwards. So, and you're going to be flanking with Dr. Earthsprung, I'm assuming. Oh, that is very close, but not quite. You want to hero point that? Oh, yeah, no hero points.
I would if I had any.
Yeah, sorry. I was being a dick now.
So then I'll go number 2. That's resoundingly not.
Okay, however, you still have 1 more action. You want to do a third attack? Or you have something else in mind?
Now, could I perhaps vault over it? I'm just trying to distract it. Use my acrobatics to just...
Yeah, let's use your acrobatics against its will. So it'll be a 24, but if you do, I'll just treat it as if you were bluffing. You know, you're using deception.
Yep. Let's just give that a go.
Okay.
Come on.
Nat 1! Oh, God! Hold on. I think you stumbled. Would you give us a reflex save? What's your class DC save, Dr. Earthsprung? Is it like 18?
19.
19. Give us a reflex save against 19 to avoid landing next to Dr. Earthsprung's. Okay, so you're in the air, and you're about to land down where Dr. Earthsprung's like waving around this fucking power cable. What do we see as you nimbly twist and angle yourself to get out of the way?
Yes, I just land on the ground and roll straight between Earthsprung's legs as he's thrashing away.
And you can feel it on your skin, like it's like everything feels numb for a moment as it gets swung above your head. Okay, Mr. Golag, you are up next. 3 actions. You are currently in the jaws of this Kelpie once again.
Trying to get
start
out
here?
It's all over again. It's I don't know what groundhogs are in Paridar, but yeah.
So
try to break away.
That is either acrobatics or athletics. Your choice against a DC of 21.
All right, athletics.
Oh,
there we
fantastic.
go.
She grabs its jaws and
just
wrench it open enough to pull yourself free. So then you have 2 more actions. What would you like to do? That one did count as an attack as well. So you have, if you're attacking, you'll suffer penalties. If you're casting a spell like a cantrip or something like that, you will not.
I think I'm going to take an action to get out of the water. So, I'm just going to, and I don't have to go far out of the water. In an intellectual way, he's like, I dare you to follow me out of this water. Like he knows this thing loves the water.
All right, so you splash out of the water, and let's make sure this thing does not have any reactions.
Okay.
It does not.
Okay. So one action to get out. Is that enough?
That is one action. You only need 1 stride to pull yourself out of the water. How far away do you want to be from this now? Up to 25.
Let's see. And are we 10 feet in now? Is that correct?
You were 10 feet in when this thing chomped you, so you could be up to 15 feet out of the water.
I will be. I better. He's in bad shape, so I will be 15 feet out of water.
Okay.
And then my last action.
You know what?
I don't remember. Oh, what?
I was thinking this is not necessarily for yours, but for Dr. Earthsprung, since you're in the water, if you just put this thing in the water, it won't do as much damage as it would when it's in contact, and it probably will burn it out. But I would treat it as like an area effect thing, kind of like a simultaneous alchemist fire, alchemist lightning.
Yeah, I thought it was out of the water. I forgot the Golag was just in the
still
edge.
In there. Okay, so you've I'm sorry, how far away, Golag? Like just on the
15 feet. 15 feet out of the water, I think.
Okay, you have one more action.
One more action, right? Yeah. I am going to. I don't remember if I've tried this before, but let's give it a try now.
You should be down 1 focus point because you did use your one of your focus spells before.
So I've got my the
one that blinds people.
I've got the hex one, and that one does not take hex points. That's the one I have that doesn't take them. I'm gonna try it again. I'm either try for the first time or try it again. I don't remember this.
So which spell is it you're thinking of here? Click on it. Okay, so that's a focus. Well, that does actually take a focus point. Anytime you cast it.
So I think I get 1, and I think that's it. I'm pretty sure I'm correct. Let's see. Let's take a look at the
spin gesture. Okay, so you do have 2 focus points. It looks like. So I think your blue bar is your focus points.
Either way, but
you
one
did
of them
try
is
this.
A hex.
Yeah, you did try this last time. One time. So you're down 1 focus point right now. And then this will be your second focus point you'd be spending to do this.
That will be fine. And I will look for it in the meantime, because I'm pretty sure I get one that doesn't spend a vote. But in any case, I'll do it. I'll do the
any focus spell, like what they do is they don't draw on your spell slots for your regular spells. They just draw on your focus points. But you only need 10 minutes to focus to refocus when you're outside of combat to get a focus point back. So it's you should be going into most tactical encounters. Let's see here, 6 plus 14. I actually failed on this. So this thing is, but because you cast it, read that last sentence. Regardless of the outcome, the target is then temporarily immune for 1 minute. So in your haste to get this again, you forgot that you used this before. Your character would know that, even though we forgot it, and there's been a 2-week gap. Is there anything else you would want to do with that last action? I'm just going to reduce your focus points down to 1, because you do only have the 1 left right now. Anything else you would do other than that?
I will, let's see, with 1 action.
Do you have a shield spell or shield cantrip prepared? I can't remember if you've got access to that or not.
Nope. Let's see. I guess I could, and who do I see? I see the doctor.
Do you have any healing potions on you?
It's an interesting question there. Oh, you know what? I was remembering I have a pistol. I always think magic, and so I've got a pistol.
Yeah,
that's 1 action. I should probably. I do not see. Let's see. I do not see. I so rarely check his stuff, which is a mistake. I don't think I have a healing potion. That's an interesting idea. I'm going to shoot it. Yeah, shoot this thing.
You can't shoot it. You'd have to draw the pistol first. You don't have quick draw.
Oh, I draw it.
So 1 action to get that out. All right. Then it is this thing's turn. So you have your pistol in your hand now. All right. So we got Sally on the shore. We've got Dr. Earthsprung right nearby with that thing. And I think that's enough of a deterrent for it. It's not going to try and grab you. I think it's tried being nice, and actually, like your ability, it can't use it again for a time. So it cannot ensorcel Misdoomare again. Let's try by force. Your AC is what, a 21 or 22 right now, Sally?
21.
21, okay. Then I rolled... I only rolled a 20 to hit. So this thing, 1 action to surge forward, and it snaps at you once again, but your reflexes are much keener than some of your allies. You're able to duck aside, and then it will try a second time to try and chomp you. That is a 18. It's a miss again. So that is it. This thing comes out, tries to crab you twice. Dr. Earthsprung, what are you doing?
So it's still in the water with me?
No, it has moved out with Sally now. Sally's on the shore, so you're about 5 feet away from it. If you're staying in the water, if you're going on the shore, it'd be 10.
Yeah. No, I'm sticking to my plan. I'm going to chase after it with my electro cable.
I'll let you have a flanking bonus now, because you've sort of moved behind where Sally is and swing this thing at it.
Yeah, he's still as hopeless as the legs, but here goes.
Closer. But a miss, unfortunately. Do you wish to... Well, you got 1 more action. It'd be 1 to move into ranged, second to attack. Want to try again?
It's going to be minus
5 at this point, yeah.
5, yeah.
You could spend that action giving commands to Igor.
Yeah, I'm going to start to get Igor to start moving up.
So Igor's like 1 movement away from the where he was before at 20 feet away.
Yep.
Then Sally, what are you doing?
I am going. Maybe is there any way I can seek to flank it? Hurl myself
you could.
To
I think
one
because
side
of the
or
nat
not?
1 from before, even though you avoided damage, you are prone right now, so you'll have to spend 1 action to kind of spring up, unless you've got like a monk ability that allows you to kip up.
No.
Okay.
I'll just have to get to my feet, in which case I am going to just go for the straight and obvious.
Okay. Dr. Earthsprung is flanking with you, so you do have the advantage there.
I will flurry at that point.
So, first attack. Oh, man, solid hit. Schwack.
Puny hit, though.
Yeah, not a huge hit, but still pretty good. Attack number 2. With the flanking, that is a hit. thwack, thwack.
Another tingle. And then I will, again, do my Doctor Strange water version.
Okay, nice.
And
water pulls up, and you've got the defensive stance now. Mr. Golag, what are you doing?
He'll shoot.
Okay. Go ahead.
All right. Let's see here.
That is not great. You want to spend a hero point reroll?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. And shooting again.
Oh, still a miss, unfortunately. You have 2 more actions. It'd be 1 to reload your pistol if you want. Or
it's single fire. Is that what it is?
Single shot, yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm out of things to do.
What do you have for your cantrip? Remember, you can use your cantrips as much as you like. Do you have any that's been the main thing I've been on. So the only thing I can see is Dr. Ursprung, right? Dr. Ursprung, myself, and the Sally,
creature.
Sally and Dr. Ursprung are sort of... Dr. Ursprung is behind this thing, swinging this crazy cable. Sally has been fighting this thing up front and now has her shield up. You are 15 feet away from shore. There's no sign of Igor right now.
Let's see. I will. I'll reload.
Okay. So 1 more action left. Want to shoot again?
I'll shoot.
That's attack number 2. Oh!
Negative.
All right. So let's do this. Why don't you make 1 more attack, and I'll randomly determine who potentially is going to get shot here.
Okay.
So it would be Sally you're firing against, which is the chance of hitting her. Roll attack number 2 once again.
Okay.
Okay, Sally, zing, this bullet goes flying past your head. And if you spare a quick glance over, you've got a giant angry kelpie in your face, but if you spare a quick glance over, Goleg is immediately like, that...
Seriously?
All right, then it is this thing's turn. It has not been deterred yet. So, Sally, you've got that defensive up. I think it turned... Oh, no, Dr. Ursprung, it does not want to get anywhere near that cable. So it's going to use its first attack to try and snack on Sally. Oh, that's a 27.
Oh, that's a hit.
Now, does your... I can't remember. Could you click on your water shield again? I'm not sure if we've got that ability set up in there.
It just gives me +1.
Okay, so it's not like a shield where you can block with it. Okay, so unfortunately... so it's a hit, not a crit. You take a whopping 13 points of damage as it grabs hold of you. And then you've got... Okay, yeah, +1, so it's not like a proper shield. It will then try your... 19 is your fortitude DC. And this is an attack, so I got -5 to this. 20. I'm just good enough to... It starts dragging you back underneath the water. So you are now... you were right on shore, so you're about 35 feet into the water, being dragged down pretty much where Igor is right now. It's because it's dragging down in the same direction. Igor is sort of walking up on this thing at this point. It will then spend its last action to try and drag you further. This is a -10 because it's a third attack. Yeah, no way. You're fighting against this thing. Dr. Ursprung, what are you doing? And Sally is still lit up, so you can clearly see everything that's happening.
I'll call out for Igor to...
So Igor will need 1 action to kind of move in to engage this thing, and then if you're giving 2 actions to him...
Yeah, I will do, yep.
Okay, go right ahead.
He'll make a swing. Oh, Jesus.
That is a miss. He has 1 more action if you've given him 2.
Yeah, he still missed.
Okay, so, but it is engaged with it now. You still have 1 action, Dr. Ursprung. What would you like to do?
I want to tempt it towards me, but I don't know how I'm going to do that. I'll put away the electrocable because that's obviously scaring it away for now.
Okay, so it's been disabled. Sally, what are you doing? You're grappled once again?
I will look to get loose and get away.
Okay. So, athletics or acrobatics against 21. Come on. Okay. That is not quite good enough. You could try again. This will be at -5, though. Fuck. Third try. Come on,
I'll just try hitting it once.
Try hitting it. So I'll be at -10 then. Oh no, it's your thing is agile. Hold on, your hand is agile. -8, not -10. So just use numbers. Attack number 3.
Oh, I won't bother then. I will. I'll try acrobatics again.
Okay.
But no good.
But it's -10, so it's 12.
Yeah.
Okay, so not quite good enough. Goldag, what are you doing?
So, what does Golag see at this point? What's his?
Ms. Dumer has been grabbed and dragged underneath the water. Igor has sort of come out of the darkness and has engaged with this Kelpie that has its jaws around Ms. Dumer. Dr. Ersprung has put his cable away, and you are standing on shore 15 feet away. You can clearly see this thing under the water, though.
And I can see Sally clearly, right?
Yes.
So I will cast on her Forbidden Ward.
That has a range of 30 feet, and you are...
Oh, she's farther than that.
Yeah, but you could spend an action to splash down into the water and then cast it on her.
And let's see if the other one is... Sure.
Okay, so you're like, no, you splash down back into the water, and remind us, what does your Forbidding Ward look like?
I think it's probably a haze that he like throws like a net.
Okay.
And it kind of forms to her.
Nice. And this is one we were talking before about the sustaining. While your light isn't, this one is that requires an action to sustain each round.
Okay.
Okay. Then it is this thing's turn. Now I need to quickly remind myself. Get rid of you, my friend. Let's snag you. Okay. It might just chomp you as one of its actions, and I think, see if I have to make an attack roll once again on this for grab. We go grab. Okay, so cannot. I do need to make an attack, which means I need your AC currently. You've got your your shield's not up. So it's 21 plus 1, so it's 22 because of the Forbidding Ward. Let's see here, and that is that is a hit, but not a crit. So it chomps down on you once again, Sally. This time you take 14 points of damage. And it's going to try and drag you as a second attack. That's a fail, and drag is a third one. Likewise, a fail. So it's chomping on you. Blood is coming out into the water, but it hasn't dragged Sally any further down. Dr. Ersprung, what are you doing?
Yeah, I'll start with Igor. He's got a better chance of hitting it than breaking free, I think. So he's going to try firstly to hit it.
Its melee attack bonus should be the same as its athletics. So one, and the AC of this thing is the same as its fortitude DC. So depending on what you want to do, both of them count as an attack. But if you want to try and yank Sally out, or if you want to try and attack the thing, he'll be rolling, I think, the same bonus. The same target number.
Well, it's +6 for athletics, +7 for attack. But
there you go. Okay, so it's attack better.
The same, yeah. But it's only one. No, it'll try and actually get Sally free then. Okay. That's more important.
So 21 is your... Oh, and everyone gets a hero point before you make your roll.
Okay, now sure.
That easy come, easy go with that hero point?
Seems that way, doesn't it?
Okay.
That's even worse.
Okay, but that's only one. He could try again at -5. Or attack at him.
No, he's going to try it. He's going to try it.
Okay.
No
He has
luck at all.
one more action if you fed him all through all 2. He could try again at -10.
Well, it'd have to be a 20, but he's got a little else he can do.
Okay.
No.
So he's desperately trying to get her free. You still have one more action, Dr. Ersprung.
I'll just get over to where Golag is. So if this thing does decide to come out again, he can try and...
Sure. So you splash over there. Ms. Dumer.
Yes, I'll try and get free. No.
You hero point then?
Yep, I'll hero point that.
So close. Okay. That is not quite good enough. You have 2 more actions.
I'll try again. But that's
-5 is 17. Okay, and one more action.
I'll try again. Nope.
Okay. Golag, what are you doing? 3 actions. If you want to sustain this forbidding war to be 1 more.
Sure, I will sustain it, and so I'm out in the water a little bit, and then
+1 status bonus to AC and saving throws. I don't think this counts as a saving throw, but I would let you count that as a bonus. Sally, you would have been freed on your first reroll. So you have 2 more actions. What would you like to do?
Okay, well with that then I will scoot as fast as I can for the surface.
Okay, so you disappear. You were easily able to splash up next to where Dr. Earth. Now, are you going straight up, or are you going back towards where your allies are?
Oh, I'm going to get out of the water as fast as I can.
Okay, so that's 2 actions. You're splash. If you're going out of the water, that's 2 actions, and you're up on shore now.
Right.
Okay, then it's Golag's turn. Sorry. So she's out now. You could spend an action to maintain that cantrip, but you can always recast that if you like. What do you think? Do you have 3 actions or 2?
So let's see. So the creature's in the water, right? Yep. And I can't really. I can't see it. Can I see it?
Once again, it's in darkness because it's.
Okay.
No, it's in dim light right now, which you can see perfectly clearly in because of dark vision. Because you moved into being 30 feet away from where Sally is, and your light goes out 40 feet total.
Okay.
So you can see it.
And did Ms. Dumir pass me? Is she
definitely? Yeah, she's up on shore again.
And the doctor is, I can see him, right?
Yep, he's standing right next to you.
And then how about so the only one, so Igor's under the water still?
Igor's standing right next to where this thing is.
I mean, God, I yell out, I'm trying to take inventory because we got to get out of here. So, I mean, at this point, Golag's like, retreat! And takes,
run away.
And takes off at it. So, I don't want to leave anyone in the water in particular, so I had to go through the inventory. But seeing everyone, he goes, retreat! An official, commander, blowing the bugle of...
Yep.
And
that undignified way that grown men run out of water too, where they're kind of splaying their legs up and over the water to run faster.
So he's definitely getting out of the water. So first action to get out of the water.
Yep. 2 more
to go on shore. He doesn't really have anything. He's under the water. Is there any chance of? I don't know if. I didn't mean to roll it. I just wanted the rules to come up, but. To fire something out under the water at it that's a piercing, some kind of sharp rock, or is that too much of a?
Yeah, and actually, that is a good choice because ranged piercing attacks, they have their range increments. So you'd have to be within 15 feet of the target when it's passing through water, but it would do full damage and would not suffer any penalties. So you would have to make use of that. You'd have to get closer to it.
Getting closer to it.
Yeah, because the projectile generally it comes from your immediate vicinity, and then it hurls out towards the target.
Yeah.
And then the piercing damage. If you chose piercing for it, it would not do. It would do full damage, but it would be reduced by what do you call it? To half its range because of the water. I
mean, I can't really risk going back in the water with my 5 hit points, so I'm going to I'm gonna just work on my pistol. I'll get out of the water.
Okay.
I'll get out of the water, and I'll be, whatever that allows me, 15 feet out of the water, I guess, back to my 15 feet position.
Yep.
And work on my pistol, which reload it.
So reload pistol. You have one more action. You could sustain that thing on Sally if you'd like.
Oh, and then So, and I'll sustain it.
Okay.
I think
this thing's turn.
Yep.
It will. Dr. Ursprung, I have not tried to ensorcel you yet. Is that right?
No.
No. Okay. So this thing splashes, uses one action to zip up to the surface. Igor is many things. Very handy. Ton of tools inside. Buoyant is not one of them, so he is not able to swim. But this thing has been keeping close to the ground thus far. It surfaces, though, so it's about 25 feet deep at this point. It is... see, what's the range of this thing? Oh, 60 feet. I can still get you. Dr. Ursprung, would you give us a willpower save, please? Or will save, not willpower.
Yeah.
So this thing gets on the surface, and I think what you see very briefly in your, as this thing's trying to affect your mind, is there is a horse up there, or there's a woman who surfaces, but you can see, and it's, beauty being in the eye of the beholder, the fact that this floating woman who seems to be, only from like the nose up, the fact that her body is so clearly stitched together from 3 different sources does not affect you whatsoever. You find the mismatch of blue and brown eyes to be enthralling. But what is it in your iron will that recognizes this as fey ensorcelment and allows you to shake it off?
I think it's just the fact that he's seen this creature so many times now, trying all sorts of tricks, and he's just convinced whatever's coming out of there, that ain't what it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing I need to destroy. So he's put up a barrier in his mind that whatever he sees, if it ain't Igor, it's the enemy.
Okay. Then that is all of that's all of its actions. Dr. Ursprung, what are you doing?
So how far away is it?
It is, let me think here. It moved, it was 10 feet under, no, it moved 35 under, so it's probably about 20 or 25 feet away.
Okay. And if I use this electric cable, what sort of area effect do I think it would?
If you tossed it out to where it is?
Yeah.
I treat it basic. I'll just use the rules for the... what do you call it? Alchemical. If you hit it, the alchemical alchemist fire, alchemist lightning. If you hit it, it'll do 1d8 damage with 1 persisting fire. If you miss it, it'll just do 1 fire splash damage, and ditto. I think for 1d6 electricity damage, 1 electricity splash. So if you hit, it'll do 1d8 fire, 1d6 electricity in the water, plus if it's got vulnerabilities. If you miss, it does, and persisting fire, so it'll be on fire, although it's in water, so it's probably going to go out quickly.
I think he's not confident enough he's going to be able to hit it, so he's going to keep that as his last
Do you activate
chance.
it again, though?
No, not yet.
Not yet?
No,
Okay.
no, I've got it away. So he stupidly wants it to come for him, so he can try and finish it off with this electric. So he's just going to get Igor to try and sort of chase it towards him almost.
Yeah, the trouble is it's 20 feet up right now, so Igor sort of would have to be pacing kind of around on the surface of the lake. He can't.
Oh, he can't go up at all.
Yeah, he can't go up because he's just solid. Brass.
I'll just get him to come back to me. So if it does come for me, there'll be 2 of us.
Okay, so hopefully. I think how are you giving 2 actions or 1 to Igor? It probably takes 2 for him to walk out.
No, I'll give him 2.
Okay,
yeah.
So he's out, and then he could. So he water sloughs off of him. Good field test for whether he's those seals worked.
Yeah.
You still have 1 action. Is there anything you would like to do?
Can I use that? No, I'd have to be next to everyone. I don't want to get close to everyone else. I'll just I'll just be sort of standing with my hand in my pocket waiting for this thing to come ready to get the electric cable out. But yeah, he's sort of trying to tempt it in.
All right. Ms. Dumer, you're up next. What are you doing?
I think I'll go about 8 feet to the side and back from Dr. Ursprung.
Okay.
So
are you on the surface or in the water?
Oh, I got out. So
yeah. So you're on the shore?
So I'll stay. Yeah, I'll stay on the shore.
Okay.
Tell everyone to keep out of the water, just in case they hadn't gathered that.
Okay. Oh, speaking of which, so just to talk about Ursprung's action, since Igor only needed 2 to walk up to you, remember that in Pathfinder 2, you can spend 2 actions to bank 1. So, for instance, if you wanted to prepare activating the cable as your ready to action to do as a reaction, you could do that.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Sally, it's only one of your actions to maneuver yourself on the shore. You still have 2 more. What would you like to do?
I will then store an attack using my last 2 actions.
Okay, so you're ready.
Claw ready to go flying out 10 feet.
Can you click on your flurry of blows for us? I just want to see something.
Yeah, where is he?
There may be a pretty badass... That's a one action thing.
So I will store the double feather flourish.
So you're just springing ready to kung fu the shit out of this thing. Golag, what are you doing? You can see Dr. Ursprung seems to be taunting this thing. Igor stands next to him. Sally has taken a place and has taken a kind of a fighting stance. Her extend-a-fist thing, primed and ready to use. What are you doing?
I'll maintain the forbidden ward.
Okay.
And how
nice.
And I can see the creature?
Let's think here. It is it's under the water and there's no source of light underwater. No, it's above the surface. Yes, you can. Because it tried to ensorcel Dr. Ursprung. You can see it's this like the full head of a horse, picturing it kind of floating above water, blackened, fur across it, and just staring at Dr. Ursprung. Those red eyes.
I think I loaded my pistol in the last action of last turn.
You did?
So I'm going to shoot.
Go ahead.
Shoot.
And Sally duck?
That's a hit.
Hey. Nice.
Nice shot.
Take that, Sally. There's no ducking necessary.
Okay. So you hit this thing. You still have one more action. Yeah. What would you like to do?
That's a great question. What do I do at this? I will who is closest to the creature at this point, if anyone?
Dr. Ursprung. He's out in the water.
I will and he's within 30 feet, right?
Yes.
So I will try I guess blood ward. Let's see. I've got one hex point.
Nice. So that's sustained as well. Designate one of the following creature types: a bearer, aberration, animal, beast, celestial, construct, dragon, elemental, fey, fiend, fungus, monitor, ooze, plant, or undead. +1 to saves and AC versus it. That's pretty cool. I think you know what type this is.
I was hoping that was the case.
Yep. Okay, very cool. So what does your... Do like your tattoos ooze a little bit of blood as you cast this, or what?
Yeah, I think I'm spraying, shadow blood, covering it in a kind of... It looks probably harmful. If you just had to guess and weren't magical, you'd think, oh, this thing just, I don't know what that was. That was terrible, And kind of droop it, hit it with an ooze, with a dripping, bloody, shadow oozy thing.
Nice. Golag is protecting his both of his employees at this point.
Yeah.
Then it is this thing's turn. So it is going to spend an action to seek. I'm going to see if it can judge what is going on here. It's a pretty good roll. So its eyes shift back and forth between, though. It did not like getting shot in the head in the least. So it spends an action to go beneath the water. And then I'll spend my last action, to hide. I actually took the time to reread the rules for hiding. One thing we fucked up yesterday is when it's invisible and you have sent something, it's a DC 10 flat check, not DC 5. DC 5 is with concealment. When something's hidden, it's DC 10. Well, that means you just need to roll a 10 or higher in order to hit something when it's invisible. But now this thing is undetected. It's gone beneath the water and it has hidden from you. So, Dr. Earthsprung, you're standing. The moon above is reflecting the light off of the water, and there is no sign of this Kelpie. You are a mere 10 feet away. You can hear the soft chugging of Igor's engine next to you. You have 3 actions. What are you doing?
I'm going to ask Golag and Sally to group up so I can try and heal him with my Searing Restoration. But
okay.
I shall ask him to do that next turn. But
I think so. Searing Restoration has to come from Igor, right? So because it's from your
oh, is it?
Yeah, I think it's focused on your construct, I believe. Maybe click on it just let's see, make sure we've got it.
I thought it was like a little bomb.
Your innovation is a minion. It can take this action rather than you. A minor explosion from your innovation.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so it needs to be either adjacent to you or adjacent to Igor. But Igor
so
can take that action as well.
Yeah, so I'm going to... Oh, actually, it only does one person anyway, I think, doesn't it?
At 3rd level...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
you or a living creature adjacent. So I'm going to send Igor next to Sally, and he's going to do that. He's going to do...
Okay, so it'll be 1 action to go over to there, and then 1 action to create to activate Searing Restoration. So then this is unstable. Give us a 1d20 roll, just a flat. You need a 17 or higher.
Yeah.
Come on. 9. So fail. It just means he can't use other unstable actions until you repair him, but he is otherwise able to use his other abilities.
Okay.
And then also heal. So what is it? 2d10.
Yep, so 2d10.
Come on, big money. Nice. 17 points
17.
back, Sally.
Ooh, that's good.
So now, Dr. Earthsprung, you either have 2 more actions left, or you could give Igor 1 more action and then take 1 yourself.
No, I'm going to ready my action to get the electro blade out again. I'm going to keep it in the water, only sort of 10 foot more.
Sure.
On the edge, basically. I'm still trying to lure it.
Okay. Then, Ms. Dumer, what are you doing?
I will do the same. I'll still be waiting to see if the critter comes out.
Okay. That means you still have 1 spare action if you'd like.
You got your shield, didn't you?
Yeah, I can put my shield up.
Okay.
Why not?
Once again, so you're benefiting from both the shield and from Golag's protection. Mr. Golag, what are you doing?
I know I can't see it, right? I can't see it, right?
No. No, it's hit.
But
What you could do is spend an action seeking. And now, while you may not be able to, because of where it is, it's underwater, you may not be able to spot it necessarily, you could see like the ripples of water or something like that and have a sense of where it is in general.
And I will ask, how long do you think it's been since so I know it's a minute, and each the Shroud of Night and each...
So it's 10 rounds that need to pass between
10 rounds is
for
a lot.
1 minute.
That's a lot. Yeah, it's quite a few. We've been fighting a while, but that's quite a few rounds. So, okay. I am go. Well, I'm going to maintain. I'm going to maintain those spells. So that's 2 actions,
Okay.
and then I'll just reload my weapon, which is empty. I'll reload it now.
Awesome. So Golag is muttering the occultic invocations necessary to maintain the 2 spells. And then it is this thing's turn. So I can stealth and move half movement. Let's see here. If you guys could put your perception bonuses in chat. I just need to set the DC for that. Okay. 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 So, you Cannot spot it for its first move. Cannot spot it for its second move. And then Dr. Earthsprung bursts out of the water towards you. You can activate your contraption if you like.
Yeah. And if it's coming at me, I'm just gonna, instead of trying to hit it, I'm just gonna stick it in the water.
Okay. Well, I'm picturing you sort of like you were allowing for that contingency. Your ready to action was to activate it. I'm assuming it's down in the water, which means you'll take splash damage from it as well.
Yeah, I'll take the damage, but I just want to kill this thing.
So you only take 2 points of damage from this. It, however, because it is resistant to fire, or is vulnerable to fire, it actually takes 6. So it leaps out of the water to try and get you. You activate this thing. You're like, and this thing screeches as it goes around. It is going to finish its attack on you. So, and what's your AC?
18.
Okay, so I got a hit, not a crit. Actually, shit, no, that is a crit. I got a 30. You take 26 damage as this thing slams down on you. But then, because of the shocking, it immediately lets you go. And it's writhing around in the air. Would you give us a crafting check, Dr. Earthsprung? I'm just going to see if you can keep this thing from malfunctioning or not. Let's set the DC at... let's see here. We'll make it a hard one for... What's the level of the device?
Let's
see here. Yeah, it's way...
Level 3.
Level 3, okay, so... Let's see. DC by level, that's 18, hard to be 20. So that's off... Oh, you don't have any hero points right now. So it sort of sputters, and it shorts out.
Okay.
Okay? But that was it for its action. Dr. Earthsprung, this thing is right in front of you. You could spend an action to try and activate this again if you'd like, to kind of jury-rig it.
Yeah, I'm going to try.
So it's a crafting DC 20.
Yeah, I'll try and get it working. Oof.
That's a critical. So you know what? I'll actually let you double the effect of it for 1 round.
Yeah, I'll do it.
So it's active. Then when you drop in the water?
It. Yeah, I'll just put it in the water again. I'll just grimace as I sort of activate it because I know it's going to work.
So you'll take 4 points of damage from it. It takes 4 and so it's 9. Look at this.
It's got flashbacks to that Frankenstein movie you watched.
Yeah. Really? You have 1 more action. What would you like to do?
I'm going to get Igor.
Give it to Igor? What's Igor doing?
He's just going to try and hit it.
So he'll charge in and then splish into the water as 1 action. Go ahead and make your attack roll.
Come on, Igor.
That is... Oh... I think you said that he was trying to flank with you, right?
Well, he would try to, but I don't know if he's
got the movement
for it.
So then that is a hit. He races up towards this thing as it's, as the electricity is arcing through it. Is Igor vulnerable to electricity? I can't remember if that's how they play it.
Yeah, he hasn't got immunity to it. He's got immunity to all sorts of things, but not that.
Not that, and no vulnerability to electricity.
No, I don't.
Okay, good. So he only takes 4 points of damage as he races into this electric kind of thing. But what does it look like as he smashes this thing dead with percussive sedation?
Yeah, I'd imagine it's got all sorts of burns where this electric's kicking off, and it's got all these sort of stripes for it, stripes like lightning sort of hitting it, and he just connects with one of these where it's weakened, and it does just sort of smash its back. It's got this big bludgeoning. Yeah,
you hear a crack as it hits it solidly in the jaw snap of its spine, and then as it's a bit of a anticlimax as the light suddenly goes out from the arcing electricity, and this thing slumps down in the water, and its body is just hanging there, drifting. Each of you gets a hero point, and why don't we take our mid-session break right now? Then we'll come back and see what happens next.
I think the characters are taking a mid-session break and the players are taking a mid-session break.
Like slumps down. Jeez.
Yeah.
And then we'll see what happens
next.
Yeah. So for those listening at home, back momentarily. All right. And let's do the official. Boom. There you go. 0 hit points on Yield Kelpie.
Tough son of a...
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
In the water, anyway.
Well, and it's the environmental circumstance for it just really tricky. Okay. So. All right. So we are picking up immediately after this thing hits the water. What do we see as Dr. Earthsprung's reaction to this?
He wants to get out of the water as soon as possible.
Okay.
And he gets Igor to drag this body out onto the shore.
As he's dragging it out, what you notice is that the body begins to sort of dissolve into just collected piles of black seaweed. So by the time he gets to shore, it's a vaguely horse-shaped heap of stinking underwater weeds. You place it down.
And is that something that Sally would have knowledge of? Was it Sally that knew about the Kelpies?
I actually can't remember which of you. I know you learned more from Professor Galberry.
Oh, was it the professor?
But well, what you can do? Hold on. It is.
Yeah, because it's not a sea creature, is it?
No, I mean they can be found in the sea, but it's more often than not they're found in freshwater places because they need to prey on land-loving things. Things. Anyone can give us a nature check, if you like.
Good for a giggle.
Oh. So, Dr. Earthsprung, from what you've heard about the Fae, this sort of makes sense for you that this might be what happens. They are creatures of they're creatures of magic, or enchantment, and if this thing is dead, there may be no reason for why its physical form, which you've already seen can be quite fluid, for it to maintain that whatsoever.
Okay, I was just trying to ascertain if it was something weird. It was unnatural to this sort of creature, but by the sounds of it,
yes, par for the course for the Fae can be quite tricky, things.
So the next thing I'll be looking is to try and patch people up as best as possible.
Okay. Give me 1 second here. I need to make a couple quick. You guys can hear the breaking as you're dragging this thing out. You hear the breaking of a branch not far off from you, about 50 feet away. And you can see, almost as if they intended to be seen, but probably they did not, a raven and an owl take flight and fly across the pond. From the location where they were, at least from where the sound came from, you'd guess it's almost the exact place where those two birds were seeming to spy on you before. So, Dr. Earthsprung, you said you were going to try some menstruations here.
Yeah.
So you're just going to take a 10 on them, or are you going to roll?
No, I'm just going to play it safe at this stage.
Okay.
So I've got ward medics. I can do 2 at once.
Okay.
So, do I roll separately for...
I think you roll separately still, yeah. For how much is healed.
So it'll be 2d8. So I'll do Golag first.
Golag, you're getting 10 hit points.
And then Sally.
16 for me, please.
What, 9?
Get what you're given.
Thank you.
And then I'll just do myself
separately?
Yeah.
Okay. Oof. Okay, so this would have been happening over the span of about 20 minutes, 10 minutes for each application. So, Golag and Sally, if there's anything you wish to do while, or talk about while you're receiving these menstruations, or the medical attention, I should say, from Dr. Earthsprung.
I mean, Golag was pretty bad shape. He just laid down. He laid down, and his shadow came off of him, and is basically, I think he's keeping an eye out with his shadow as he just lays there. Sure. And my goodness, he's muttering. And
so mechanically, you know what Golag could do during that time? Because you are out, technically you're out of focus points now. You could spend 10 minutes just lurking in the shadows, reconnecting with that and gaining your focus points back.
Sure.
1 point per 10 minutes, okay. Ms. Dumer. Golag seems to be communing with the shadows once again.
So is there anything left of this Kelpie at all?
There is the weeds and whatnot are still there. You could kind of root around.
I'll give that a kick, and then I will. While I do that, you
hear something click. As if you literally kick it, there's a click of there's something within these.
Oh. Well, I will have a little route around inside then. I was about to tell them about the spire, but let's have a route around in
So you start rooting around through this
bush
stuff, and like it is a big heap. Like it was a big animal or creature, I should say. So it's a pile you're getting through, but you feel something hard, and then you push it away, and the moonlight hits it clearly. It is a viscera-covered skull, as if it was partially digested. You can give us a medicine check if you like. Difficult here to determine.
I'm going with a halfling or whatever.
Okay.
Nope.
All right. So this is it's you can tell it's an adult's skull. Like it's the size of a adult's thing, but it's disgusting. There's still bits of flesh that haven't been fully digested on this.
Ick. Okay, so I step back, wash my hands in the disgusting water, which is still an improvement.
Yeah.
And then just say, I think I found one of the victims here. Don't know which, but...
So, Dr. Earthsprung, once you have concluded treatment for each of the your two companions and yourself, you can give a look at this if you'd like. You have more expertise than Ms. Dumere.
Yeah, I'll give it a look. If I give it just an assured...
Yep. What's the total with your assured roll?
19.
19. So you can... actually, it's 20. It would be the target number to learn... Yeah.
But I wouldn't know that, I guess, would I?
You would know. I think you would...
It's quite disguised, is it? Or quite,
yeah, it's sort of a matter of whether you're taking a careful examination of it, which may,
I guess, assurance is a quick scan, isn't it? I guess.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'll make a roll.
Okay, you want to spend a hero point on that, or?
Yeah, now I feel that we're in a safe environment, I will do, yeah.
Okay. There you go. So looking at this thing over, it is for sure an adult dwarf's skull. And from the amount of desiccated flesh or partially digested flesh that remains, building on what you learned about the Kelpie from before, this is, a couple of days old. So this may very well be, what's his name here?
I confirmed that with Golag because I think he saw the dwarf in his vision, didn't he?
He did, yeah. Where is it here?
Father.
So I'm trying to find my notes. Where are my notes? Is his name Dan Shea? The mission.
That sounds right to me.
So this seems to be Mr. Shea's remains, in all likelihood. It was Winifred Shea who came. Winnie Shea who came to see you, wasn't it?
Daniel, I have Daniel. Yeah, Daniel Shea.
Daniel Shea. Okay. So this would make sense that this is Mr. Shea's remains. Unfortunately, you have confirmation now that Mr. Shea was a victim of the Kelpie. So,
yeah, I'll keep that. I mean, it's very, very little, but it's at least something that we can, bury, and it's something.
Well, the what we know is, and he's laying on the ground as he says that. He turns his head just a little bit to see the doctor as he's just laying there, and he says, "Well, she did hire us to find him. Unfortunately, we did. We will offer her what consolation that provides."
Now we need to find out where the Kelpie came from.
That point, Sally was saying, well, it was dragging me down to a definite objective. When I was going down, I could see the shapes of another of these spires. And that's exactly where the Kelpie was headed.
This is underwater, a spire underwater, Ms. Demir? Was it?
Observant, Mr. Golak, indeed. Deep under the water.
Interesting. Perhaps no one even knows it's there. Have we ever heard of this, Kevin? Any word of this at all?
For whatever reason, I mean, what you're aware of is that this sort of wild area was here, you know, or has been here from before Eckert or Elwood Eckert paid to have his name and his statue in here, and I believe it was Miss Carrington who let you know that this pond had been here. Like, this wasn't something built for Eckert Green. He just claimed this, put up a statue, and put a fence around it. So you've never heard I think we've established already with earlier roles that you've got an idea of like where the spires are and whatnot. I don't think anyone is aware that there's a spire in the water. No one has, to the best of your knowledge, ever bothered to dive down into this disgusting pond.
And I think I missed the description a little bit. Was it like built as if it was meant to be there, or has it been sort of discarded, or was it lying on its side?
It was all upright. It all looked intact, but the top of the spire seemed broken.
There you go.
But just the top, the rest of it was upright.
So it had been sort of placed there rather than it had just found its way there, sort of thing.
Yep. Okay. And so, but it's a remarkably deep for just a pond.
And do you think it could have, similar to the spire here, that disturbance or potential, I don't know, we were calling it a sort of gateway or doorway?
I suspect it seemed to be, I'm guessing here, but it's the home for that creature. Or its lair. Or its portal.
Inner voice slips into his outer voice, and he thinks out loud, I wonder if it'd be unseemly to put this on our vehicle, that we are the firm that discovered the unknown spire. He's saying, laying down the ground.
ABB, always be branding.
Yeah. He's tired. He's wounded. He doesn't care. He's bedraggled. He's wet. His clothes are ruined.
Torn. Yeah.
And his first thought is, what legal claim can I have on this?
Yeah. That definitely passed through his mind. Let's see. Well, I guess we could at least pass it along to our professorial investigative team, our corollaries. First of all, or one of our top, and of course, inform the widow. All of us get rejuvenated, a shower for goodness sake, and a change of clothes.
Can lower Basil on a rope. That worked well last time.
So, anything else you wish to do here? You guys did sneak your way in here, so you've got as much time until sunrise, until they open the gates again, before anyone may conceivably discover you.
I mean, collect remains. Get that taken care of. Ms. Demir, I don't know if now that there's you'd have a moment to you'd have peace and quiet if you want to swim down and take another good look at it. Until this thing blows up, perhaps, and it's surrounded by whatever cameras or journalists, for God's sake.
It's an interesting possibility to see if these live in pairs, but I think Sally will go for. It's also feeling a bit roughed up. Would prefer to go for a nice long bath in something that's not muddy and bloodstained.
Okay.
If that's all right by the acquisitive Mr. Dak.
Yes,
Mr. Golag.
Yes, that's understandable. I'm, he's laying on the ground, so he's not in much of a position to be outraged at your thoughts. So says, yeah, that sounds fine. That sounds fine.
Take it. There's no sign of the birds now, is there? They haven't.
No, they flew across the lake and then sort of disappeared.
They haven't sort of took up a perch somewhere in the distance or anything there.
No, but they really biffed their stealth check. So you can, if you wanted to go and look of the broken branch that you heard, you could find it quite easily.
Yeah, I mean, go and have a quick look in case there's any signs that mean anything to us. But
I can't remember, does Dr. Ursprung have dark vision?
He's got low light vision.
Low light vision. Okay, with the moon, I've already described at length the moon here, so he would be able to see in that quite easily. So yeah, you're able to find it, and unsurprisingly, if you take a beeline for where you saw Stitches before standing beneath that thing and seemingly, poking that bird, it's that same limb that is cracked as those things, and it's kind of hanging down a little bit at a strange angle from where they launched themselves up.
So where they were spying on us before, really. Yeah. Cool.
Well, I guess let's, should we, he sits up, after the 10 minutes is up, I guess, his own little 10-minute clock, and sits up and, shall we collect the remains as we can, if we have something in the trunk, perhaps, make our way out of the park, go to our vehicle, see if we have something appropriate, or we'll have to come back to collect the remains if we don't, and then head back, I suppose, and start on our follow-up tasks in the morning. What say you?
That sounds like a good idea.
Okay, so tell me how you intend to make your way out of the park. Then, do you wish to? You were on a mission here, and to give context to what with the remains, even though this thing turned back into a heap of seaweed, the use of appropriate spells would likely reveal what this stuff is, so you could keep all that shit as well. So you're not just bringing half-digested dwarf remains out.
Yeah, I think me and Igor will do the messy duty of sort of going back to our vehicle and getting a sack or something and sort of collecting up bits and pieces as best as possible.
I think someone made a thievery check last time to unlock the gate, so you easily can kind of come and go.
I was going to say that I think Basil left it open in case we needed to make a quick exit, didn't he?
Oh, not a bad plan.
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay. So then you're able to get back and you collect like a leather tarpaulin or something like that to put the stuff in.
Yeah, anything, a chest if we got it, or tarpaulin, or anything that we can contain this stuff in.
Yeah, you would have been planning as the contingency of it. So I imagine like cadavers are probably transported in either like leather tarpaulins or in like burlap kind of wraps or sheets of some kind, depending on their class of the cadaver. So you get that stuff all bundled up. If you're trying to keep this a secret, why don't we have each of you give us a stealth check, and we'll see if you can keep yourselves free from running into the guards who would be maintaining the park at night. Nat 20 from Dr. Ursprung. Fucking awesome. All right, so we got at least 2 criticals on this. So you guys, the guards are just completely unaware of this. Yeah, you don't need to spend a hero point if you don't need to. You just needed more successes than failures. So you're able to retrieve whatever you want from here, the remains of the Kelpie, the remains of the dwarf, or both, and drag them out. With that probably takes about an hour, which means that on the drive back, Dr. Ursprung could apply more menstruations. You could do, once again, another 20 minutes of treatment, and you could heal another 2d8.
Yeah, I shall certainly do that.
Okay.
So for Golag first,
14.
14's a goodie.
Yeah.
And then
nice.
Sally, 10.
Yay.
Back at full.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Oof.
Nice. Okay.
All round.
So you're feeling, tell me what's going through your collective minds here now, having found this thing, having found that spire underneath the pond, and having faced this Kelpie.
I don't ever want to face another Kelpie.
Indeed, that's
Not in war.
rougher than we suspected. I will. I think I'm correct that we never did test its reputed iron vulnerability. It'd be interesting for the future. Hopefully, the distant future. Then we can put that to work against our next Kelpie. But I'm glad that we solved the case. There's always satisfaction in that. And well done, everyone. Well
His
done.
very torn and rumpled suit, he corrects as he's driving.
Yeah.
His suits are regularly rumpled, it has to be said.
Yes.
One wonders what else lurks down there.
Well, I do feel, that Spire has got to be involved in how this Kelpie arrived and the potential of more horrible things to come out. Because it wouldn't have been able to travel around without people seeing it unless it managed to, they sort of, it doesn't stun them, does it? It takes over their mind.
We have much to relay to the professor.
So, arriving back at home, you guys are met by Sylvan, who doesn't bat an eye at how injured and just damaged your clothing and whatnot are. You do find that he has set out in. He apparently heard your motorized carriage coming because he has set up warm salted water for Sally, as well as a bunch of two snifters of brandy, or two snifters and your favored brandy, Golag, ready for your post-investigation, what would we call it? Debriefing, I suppose. So we can
in celebration. I mean, maybe muted because we're a little beat up, or we're somewhat still. But somewhat there needs to be. Golag feels like there needs to be some, minor ritualistic type of, cigar smoking or whatever.
Sure.
Bring to the party whatever you'd like. But
So Golag is that's his mood as he's kind of getting settled in here. What is Ms. Dumaire and Dr. Ursprung? How are you guys feeling?
I'd be for always wanting to be prepared. I'll be straight back to fixing gadgets. I'll be looking at Igor and Assyrian restoration, sort of slight issue, and the electro blade that he found super useful. We'll be trying to repair that, and he'll be just in the corner with his tools from Igor.
Where did I put? There it is. Guns and gears. Okay, here we go. I believe it's a DC 18 crafting check to get him all up and running again.
18.
So let me double check that. Oh, you don't need to make a roll. You just need 10 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yep, so you just fuss around with it, and then I think you need to make a crafting check to heal it, but otherwise it is, and I think it's treated just like as if you were doing first aid.
Yeah, I'll just do an assurance sort of crafting on
Okay, sure.
Igor.
Do you have assurance for, I think the feat is keyed to a specific spell, or skill, isn't it?
Yeah, I thought it was any skill. What's it say?
Could be. Let's see here. Assurance. Oh, here we go. Okay.
Oh no, it says it's special. You can select this feat multiple times.
Okay. I mean, your crafting is quite good anyway. So.
Yeah. No, I would have definitely done it for medicine. So.
Okay, so it'll only be 15.
It just means you can use it on various ones. Yeah. I see.
So just a crafting 15 check, or DC 15. Doesn't damage it. You would take you more time. The only thing it costs you is time.
Yeah, he's a bit tired.
Yeah. So, and what do you guys? You have an opportunity to discuss right now. Anything you guys want to talk about tonight, or is the plan to let Dr. Ursprung do one more bit of first aid on you, try and top you up, and then hit the sack.
I mean, Golag suggests a meal together, unless we want to postpone that to tomorrow or something. If folks don't feel up to it, but he would like to share a celebratory slash debriefing meal together. Where we toast the successful finding of the missing man, despite the fact of that he is deceased.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone think about a dinner, or at the office.
Yeah, I mean we need to relax a bit.
Okay.
Seems suitable.
And in the morning we'll set about our follow-up tasks.
Yep.
Okay. So then, anything else happened before bedfall or bedtime? Anything else you wish to do? You can roll again one more healing check there, Dr. Earthsprung. To roll the result, the 2d8.
Yeah. So Golag. Oh, didn't quite make it. And myself.
Okay. And 7. All right. So let's see here. I think you heal 1 point per level overnight if you aren't otherwise treated. Let's see here. And let me double check that. Here we go, healing. Yes, because it's a, hold on. It is in the game modes because you guys are getting out of encounter mode and into the downtime mode. And the one action there is, okay, it's under playing the game. Resting. Long-term rest, you recover hit points equal to your... Oh, that's if you spend an entire day and night resting, you recover your Constitution modifier multiplied by your level twice. Minimum 1. So, and when you do every 24 hours, you can take a period of rest, 8 hours, after which you regain hit points equal to your Constitution modifier times your level. Okay, I thought so. So you guys would recover 3 hit points overnight. So Golag, you'd be at full, and Dr. Earthsprung, you'd still be a little injured as you got up in the morning.
Yep.
We can assume you repaired Igor as well. And then, with the morning, first off, everyone gets a hero point. With the morning coming, what do you guys do?
Morning ritual.
Yep.
And
everyone have breakfast.
We better go and see the widow.
Indeed. What are our as he's preparing his spells, he's trying to think of what the day's plan probably is.
Let's talk about that. What are your plans for your next? It does seem that
maybe the night before we talked about it a little bit, of what we do this next day as for Golag to make decisions on his spells. So let's see, the low-hanging fruit. Letting the newly, well, not newly widowed, but newly, now that she knows she's widowed, let her know. Let the professor know. Update professor, our university investigatory team. Give them an update, I think. Would be an easy one.
Okay.
Is there anything at the pond that we need to do? Anything that we left undone that we should quickly follow up on there? If we want to more investigate the Spire, us versus the university, that's out there. If anyone thinks that's a good idea, under the water.
They're probably better suited to investigate the Spire part of it, but we may be asked to assist maybe on the finding of it and locating it. It was quite deep down in the pond, wasn't it?
Indeed. Is it possible we may have taken did we ever find the bike, Kevin, or no?
The bike, you did find the bike, yeah.
Yeah.
When you guys were...
perhaps we grabbed it. Is that reasonable? Do you think we might have?
Well,
grabbed
that would have
it?
been. I think before your plan, you guys found the bike the first time you were looking around. That's how you were able to use the object read on it.
I was just thinking to return it, to the widow as at least a token, if not a toy.
Yeah.
Continued, toy use.
It's certainly from the emotional reaction that you experienced with it. I mean, the kids treasured that thing.
Yeah. Now maybe even more so.
Yeah,
so.
It's likely the last gift from their father as well. So there probably is.
But maybe that wraps this case, at least as far as we're aware. I mean, obviously the ongoing research into the spires, but we do have the ship, the case of the ship to switch to at some point if we're ready to refocus on that when we're done with this.
We did talk of visiting the mission as well, but I think,
yes.
I think we may need Basil's assistance for that.
Yeah, and there is the fundraiser as well that likely will come.
Yeah, I didn't know when that was scheduled for. But...
Yeah, I guess maybe neither of those today, at least. So not visit the mission today, and not try to have a fundraiser today. Maybe do work on the ship. When we think if the morning takes care of our follow-up of this case, we can consider in the afternoon maybe switching to the ship and revisiting what our tasks and thoughts for that were.
I can give you some audio clues here too. It's the sound of Golag flicking that business card.
Let's not forget about that ship.
Someone has to pay to keep the gas running here. So
well, and he looked at the side of the mechanical carriage and thought, yeah, that's too much to paint on there. The discoverers of the spire. He's still working on that, but he doesn't.
He's enjoying his tea, looking out the window.
Yeah. If we wrap the message all the way around, is that appropriate? Would that be unseemly? So. But,
you believe you have seen on at least fair days this summer, there have been people hanging banners from balloons.
Maybe not today, but tomorrow, who knows? Perhaps. So the morning for follow-up, I think we have plenty for our morning, maybe, and then and we can consider maybe at least having a meeting about the ship, to switch our focus and refresh our memories of what we were thinking of doing about that. Because I remember, Ms. Demir, you had encountered, in fact, just to begin that now, you had encountered that creature, that curious sea creature in your look-see in the bay, I think it was, right?
Yep, indeed.
So
I wonder if it's the same thing, or I suspect not, but it seemed even faster.
I'm trying to remember if you had some follow-up thoughts that you were. Did you have any that you were thinking of trying after that? Was there anything?
Not really, other than just trying to lurk in the harbour around where I'd seen it before. But it seemed faster than me, and question is whether I can handle it as well.
Yeah, water again.
For planning, once this does seem to bring us to sort of the end of this investigation. So there's we'll role play out the rest of this session, obviously, but to let you know, you guys are going to hit 4th level. So congratulations for that. In addition, you can expect that about 3 months of time will pass, because we started playing this at the beginning of the summer and we now find ourselves near the end of the summer. So if you have some downtime things you wish to do in that to make up those months, we can talk about that as well.
And there's probably a section on that, right? Downtime, like
yes, downtime is in the core rulebook.
Okay.
And it is.
All right.
Let's see here. Page 481.
Because I don't think I've looked at that like at all.
No, we haven't. We sort of talked in generalities about what you guys will be doing with your downtime. There might be extra things in the Game Mastery Guide as well. I'll take a look there and see.
Cool.
But yeah, I mean, I think this will be. I like the idea of moving the time forward in the game between mysteries with with the real world time. It's an idea from Midgard. So like for instance, Sally, you could be spending during those months. We could be at the start of next session seeing you come up from one of your regular dips in the harbor, as it were. And we could learn at the outset what you've been uncovering from that. Dr. Ersprung, the plans could be in place for your fundraiser, and we could be on the cusp of coming up towards that. Golag, whatever investigations you may wish to do. At level 4, I think it's time for me to send you some information about the rituals available in that Book of Shadows.
Some 2-month-long ritual he's completed.
Exactly.
For those gills, the next time he has to go in water.
Yes, really.
To make tear-resistant waistcoats?
Oh,
exactly.
And Ms. Dumir has become insufferable on the sartorial subject. It's just brutal. He's so vulnerable to it. He's weak, and he knows it. He hates it.
So then, but that's what's going to happen between this session and next session. And I'll let the other guys know that you guys will be hitting. Everyone's going to hit level 4 between now and next session. And is there? I will also share with you. You will have some other money too that is coming from an advance. I mentioned the advance that was coming from the retainer, I should say. That was coming for the investigation from this insurance company. You're not wrong that there is a fair chunk of change coming to you guys, which I believe is going to be equal to about 200 gold to split among you.
Very nice.
Yeah, 200. Actually, because there are 5 of you in the campaign now, 6, including Carl when he can make it, we'll say 250. So it'll be 250 gold. That will come to you. And if you have any items that you wish to spend that on in the interim, you certainly can do that. But tell us, is one of the things you're intending to do today to break the news to the widow? And I suppose the other thing I would ask, because I think I would be remiss if Basil did not bring it up. He would want to know how you wish to share this news with Mrs. Carrington. One of the ways that you guys have maintained your relationship with her is giving kind of the first scoop, as it were, to her.
And do we have is it Ms. Dumir that's our chief liaison with her? Or is that not true?
Basil has been thus far. Although Dr. Ersprung met with her as well. You don't need to necessarily roleplay something out. If you guys just tell me how you sort of want that to play out. Do you wish her to be there when you break the news so she can interview the widow as well? She's not like a tabloid journalist kind of thing, grieving over bodies. She's the one who has brought some of the information about the more unfortunate souls, and I think she had mentioned to Basil that if she can bring more attention to the conditions in Eckert's Green, she could try and force the city to do more.
And maybe Sally can also ask her on the spires and anything that's known beyond the the obvious. She may have heard rumors or... No,
the spires are one of the enduring mysteries in Paridar because they are so confounding for magic, like for any kind of divination magic. They seem to be null spots for them. And Golag, that's where one of the reasons why Professor Goldberry was so impressed with Golag's detection of that weakness there is because no other diviner of any kind of magical stripe has detected such a thing before. The news of yet another as yet unknown spire broken underneath there that may be connected with this weakness, that's huge news.
Yeah, it's a wonder my father's firm didn't find it, but it didn't, did it?
No.
So do we give her the scoop, or do we keep it under our hats?
I mean, could we negotiate that maybe she could give some money to the widow for the story, so that she, helps her out a bit?
That's a good idea.
Absolutely. She'd be happy to accommodate that.
And she gets a little cash. I like it.
Yeah.
Now, one thing that raises the question is, does that spire nullify magic? Or is the fact it's damaged means it doesn't? Because if it's got kelpies coming flying out of it, that suggests that maybe it isn't.
Mm-hmm.
It's not working.
Yes. That's why the professor definitely needs to be also one of our first visits.
Yeah.
Make sure they investigate it and do whatever they can to, shut it down if it is doing.
In order to, if you bring this information to Professor Galberry, and let me bring him as just as a reminder who we're talking about. Where are you, Professor? There we go. Professor Galberry. Mm-hmm. What he may suggest, I mean, it being underwater is obviously going to be a challenge to have a sufficiently proficient, magician of some kind go underwater to confirm its existence and also to inspect it. Sally, didn't Mrs. Hunter she mention that there was some guy who was developing some kind of apparatus for traveling and exploring underwater?
Well, that's a fine reminder that, of course, Sally hadn't forgotten such a thing.
Mm-hmm. You have yet to meet that strange captain, but perhaps she might prove an introduction.
Let's give that one a go. Let me ask if we can. I rather needed to do it anyway, for family reasons. But
yeah, so you'll follow up with Mrs. Hunter. Anything? I guess the scene with the widow. We don't need to role play through it necessarily if you guys don't want to. But how would you break the news? Like, how would you, and I guess return the remains of her husband to her?
And the bike, if we have not already.
And the bike, yes.
I mean, I think it's one of those where, you got to just rip off the Band-Aid. You can't, terrible news, you can't beat around the bush. You got to go right to the heart of it.
So you might see, like, the door open and the kids are like, the bike! And so the kids kind of grab it, and that might provide a suitable distraction for the kids to be away so you could have a word with Mrs. Shea.
Yep. And tell her, terribly sorry. We've had success on the case, but I'm afraid that has led us to learn, in fact, of your husband's demise, and we are greatly sorrowed at the loss to your family. But it was a creature from the lake that did so, and I don't know, give her the details that I think would make sense telling a widow about it.
I'm assuming Mrs. Carrington is there as well, kind of in the background. So she listens to all of it, and she takes it in a fairly... I mean, her eyes well up, but she doesn't break down. She takes the news. It seems to be like what she was expecting. And then once you finish, you sit in silence for a moment or two. And then she shakes. She says, I promised payment, didn't I? Hold on, I won't leave a bill unpaid. So she gets up, and she seems to be, having a task to do. She seems more collected, and she steps. That's when Mrs. Carrington steps forward and says, "Actually, Mrs. Shea, I have a proposition for you that I have discussed with the Illuminators themselves." Oh, and she sort of leads her off and has a quick discussion with her over what, and there's a lot of kind of looking back, and she stays in the kitchen, and Mrs. Carrington comes back, or Ms. Carrington comes back and says, would you guys have agreed to waive your fee on this if Ms. Carrington, takes the story and and pace her, or would you want to still see, some payment from her for this investigation?
How does the Carrington work again? That she would she gets the story, and what's the?
And she's a source of information for you.
I see. Rather than payment in cash from the widow.
Yeah, you could take cash payment from the widow, but it's likely to be like less than a gold coin or crown. And this.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, I see. So the this is more of one of your charity cases than it is, otherwise, Mrs. Carrington or Ms. Carrington agrees to write a very favorable story about the Illuminators in favor, in lieu of accepting payment from the widow.
I mean, I think as Carrington and her were having a discussion off on the side, Golag was going through his head are you going to take payment from this widow? And then, this other side of his voice that he wonders if it sounds like his father in his head, but no, that's not his father, saying this isn't a charity. Like, you've got to keep, people need to be paid. I mean, this is a business, So he's got this kind of thing going on in his head while they're chatting.
You think of what Mr. What was his name? The insurance guy.
Yeah, he's probably absently minded, flicking the card as he's having this.
I'm trying to remember. Mr. Parlow. Mr. Parlow. It's insurance company, not insurance charity.
Now, and Sally knows exactly what will be going through Golag's mind. Say, now. Good publicity is as good as gold.
So would a doctor, and he'll be looking over and giving him a stern look. We're not going to charge this woman, are we?
And Golag's just he just doesn't say anything, and it's like Sylvan tea. He just he wants to distract himself.
So then, if you accept the arrangement, there is a wonderfully glowing report prepared in the in the paper, and we were talking about Dark Archive. Before we went live too, so Dark Archive is the most recent, at the time of recording, release for this. They have rules for getting reputations with secret societies and stuff. So one of the things we could say is that in lieu of payment, you may see some of your reputation go up. But I'll have to look at those rules more closely between now and next session, and then we'll talk about how best to incorporate those. But that may be a way of getting some direct payment beyond just the cash. Yeah, sell the bike back. Nice. All right, kids, looks like you're enjoying that thing. Let me tell you the good news. I got a heck of a deal for you on this thing.
So I would never do that, but maybe I did paint our company name on the bike so that when as they ride around, there's advertising. Retrieved by the Illuminators.
What does it say on the kid's bike? My dad's corpse was brought back by Shadow Illuminations.
Closure. They call it closure. My goodness, Demir.
So I think what we can do, guys, at the start of next session, we'll do some cleanup on our with this particular investigation. But this does bring this one to a close. You will be able to level your characters up between now and next session, but I do want to end with a bit of a teaser. So this would take place in, where are we here? This is in your neighborhood, Dr. Ursprung. But it is outside of the church, Church of the Heavenly Host. This is the location where Father Tilcott locates. You may remember you met with him, or you haven't met with him yet, but he was the one who mentioned that he had such difficulty with that Brother Lode before, because he inherited the congregation from him. What we see is someone standing in the shadows outside of this thing who seems to be glaring at the church. And we then see the church doors open and Father Tilcott walks out. And he, with a lantern out, comes out and he says, I see you there. I see you there, man. And he walks with the confidence born of young aristocracy, where he walks directly over to this man, and what we see is an extremely disheveled-looking man in a ratty version of the same kind of clothing that Father Tilcott is wearing. And Father Tilcott says to him, "What an embarrassment you are, sir. Still wearing those... You should... It is an affront to the Heavenly Host for you to be wearing such things at this time." And the man, the disheveled man, wild hair, easily like 6-7 days worth of growth, unclean teeth from Wise, and a wild, bloodshot look in his eyes. And he says very firmly to Father Tilcott, "You shouldn't talk to a man of God like that, Father." And he, again, born by the confidence, misplaced perhaps confidence, of aristocracy and youth, he says back to him, "You are no man of God, sir." And the wild man steps forward and says once again, "Oh, I am. And he is most displeased with you, sir. Most displeased indeed." And you hear the sound of whoof, something hits Father Tilcott, and we see him fall to the ground, and the lantern crashes to the ground, spilling its oil out and lighting it. And Father Tilcott says, whoa, has an opportunity to say, "What?" And he's suddenly roughly grabbed, and we cannot see what it is, but it grabs him by the shoulders and is strong enough from this furred and clearly inhuman hand to begin dragging him across the ground. Father Tilcott is screaming. There is no one to be seen as he steps in. The wild-eyed man stands in the shadows, staring as Father Tilcott is dragged back inside the church. And Father Tilcott is just repeating over and over again, "The will of God, the will of God, the will of God." And we can see there are footprints, or more accurately, hoof prints, burning as whatever is dragging Father Tilcott inside finally brings him in. And then we see the first explosion of flames that begins at the ground level, billowing out from the church. The wild man's eyes remain fixed on this as more and more of the church is consumed. And we see nothing, no sign of Father Timothy Tilcott, as the entire structure is engulfed in flames. Guys, congratulations on hitting level 4 and concluding the mystery of the ill tidings at the Poverty Pond. So, for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for the final chapter of our ill tidings at the Poverty Pond mystery. We will be back in 2 weeks' time with the next of our mysteries, Fire and Brimstone. As is always the case, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the session, the campaign, or the game we're playing, please don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section of the video, and I'll endeavor to reply in a timely fashion. In addition, there is a link down below to the Dungeon Musings Discord server, and we have channels there dedicated to this game, this campaign, and every other game we run on the channel, as well as a ton of other great channels, including a very well-maintained by Sean channel of conventions, both online and in person. There's also a Find a Group channel, which has some terrific games, including James's most recently, I think you were the one who organized the most recent One Ring game on there. And I saw someone was trying to put together a Wraith, the Oblivion game as well. So lots of opportunities to find other great people to play with. If you are looking for people to play with, or if you're looking for people to play in your games, you can make use of that too. Otherwise, it's just a terrific community that's built up over there, and you are more than welcome to join us over there. In addition, there's a link down below to our friends at Noble Knight Games. Noble Knight Games is the preeminent retailer of hard-to-find and out-of-print games in North America. If you are looking for something that is from a game that is no longer in print or is just difficult to find, you can go over there, and they have a terrific selection of all those, plus new RPGs, new tabletop board games, and new card games. I particularly like their want list feature, where if there's a game that they do not have in stock, you can wish list it, and they'll let you know when it comes in, and then you can head over and purchase it. If you make a purchase of $10 or more through their website, be sure to use the code MUSINGS at checkout, and you'll save yourself 10% on your purchase. In addition, there is a link down below to something called Heroes Save Villages. That is the charity fundraising campaign that we run on the channel. It benefits the SOS Children's Villages International Charity, a really terrific organization active in over 130 countries that benefits over 80,000 orphan and abandoned children, including ongoing relief efforts in the Ukraine and surrounding countries. All donations that go through that link go directly to SOS Children's Villages International. None of it goes to the channel or any other middleman. It just goes to help the kids who benefit from those services. And as a small way of saying thank you, for every $25 Canadian that you donate, you gain one chance to win the grand prize or one of the other great prizes in our next charity raffle. The next charity raffle will be in December of 2022, but if you want to see what was awarded in our last one, head on over to the Dungeon Musings Discord server and go to the Charity Initiatives channel, and you can see all of the prizes that we gave away then. In addition, while you're over there, if you have made a donation since June 15, 2022, be sure to cast your vote for our next charity session, which I think is September 3rd. And it'll be a one-shot playing Eden Studios' classic zombie survival game or horror survival game, All Flesh Must Be Eaten. Voting was concluded last week to determine we're playing a modern day game, and right now people are voting on what specific setting we're playing in. We got 6 different options, and the one leading the pack is a session set in the 80s in a shopping mall. So go ahead and cast your vote for that. Voting will close tonight, and then we'll open up either later tonight or early tomorrow morning for the final thing, which will be the donors will be able to vote for what types of characters we're going to be playing. Are we playing uber competent military types? Are we playing people who are supernaturally gifted? Or are we playing regular Joes who were shopping and the shit went wrong? Are we playing teenagers stuck in the mall, mall rats in the 80s? So we'll see. And one of the things I'm doing with this one, that next voting too, is it's not a matter of like more votes get a better character. All of those make for equally valid options for this game. And if you haven't checked out the All Flesh Must Be Eaten game, it's a bit of a rare gem. It was very popular for a brief period in the late 90s, early 2000s, and it seems to have disappeared. And having revisited it again, it's just if there's ever a game that makes for a terrific pick up and play, you know, kind of beer and pretzels, need to kill a session, I really can't recommend this game enough. It's got some really, really fun options for playing a wide variety of different types of pick up and play games. So definitely, if you have donated since June 15, 2022, head on over, cast your vote, and then be sure to come back again tomorrow, the Monday, for our final vote on what types of characters we'll be playing. The last thing I will say is a huge thank you to our stalwart illuminators, and once again, a huge congratulations to you for solving the mystery of the ill tidings at the Poverty Pond. So Sean, James, and Darren, thank you so much for playing today, guys. I had a shit ton of fun trying to kill you with a Kelpie.
Thank you very much.
So then, for those listening at home, we'll be back in the Spires of Paridar, kicking off our next mystery, Fire and Brimstone, in 2 weeks' time. And until then, we hope that we gave you a couple of hours to take your mind off of the troubles of our world and think about the troubles that our heroes, the stalwart illuminators of the Shadow Illuminations Detective Agency, have been uncovering in the streets and under the Spires of Paridar. Until we see you again, stay safe, stay healthy, and happy gaming.